Hello and welcome to Indie Game Devlog number 4. This game is a satirical bullet hell RPG where you are seeking to vanquish the Queen of the Realm. The game is still not named, so if you have name suggestions, feel free to post those in the comments or in the Discord. Discord link is in the description. A lot has changed since Devlog number 3. If you haven't seen that Devlog, I'd encourage you to check it out. There's also a link to that in the description. So a couple things you might notice right away. You'll notice that I'm using some new weapons. I have some slightly new combat behaviors there. The ugly placeholder zone border kind of deal has been replaced with actual art, so we don't have those ugly white and purple squares anymore. But perhaps the main changes are we have a complete quest now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that before we get into the details of the new weapons. So you'll see that I can talk to this guy. His name is Mullet Cook, and he says some things to you. You guys will be able to read that through whenever the demo is available. But I'll go ahead and accept that quest, and you'll see now that it pulls up a quest tracker in the top right corner. This might be something you've seen before. I've already collected the 10 spider legs that he's asking me to collect. They're already in my inventory. And so I'm just going to finish his secondary objective, which is to kill 20 spiders. And I'm doing that using my fire tome. You'll notice now that I'm actually shooting very quickly. That's because now you can actually hold down the mouse button to continuously shoot rather than having to click for every shot. So I'm going to turn that in, and you'll notice here that you see a reward screen. And the reward screen basically tells you what you need to turn in and what you're going to get given. And you'll notice that my reward was 5 rubies, so my inventory amount increased to 6 rubies since I already had one. So he then gives me another quest to go find tastier spider legs. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm looking around, trying to figure out, what's going on here, and we'll see what happens. So I'm walking over to this area, and all of a sudden you will see this big old spider queen here. And she is a boss character. She has a couple of interesting things going on. First of all, you'll notice that she shoots those little venom balls in a couple of different ways. One of them is in a radius where she shoots out, I think it's 11 or something like that, out in a circular fashion. And then she also has sort of like a sweeping shot, which shoots a similar number, but it's one at a time, and it's more of in an arc rather than a full circle. And so you'll notice that the quest objectives have changed to defeat the Spider Queen. So I'm going to go ahead and defeat her and then grab her head. Now you'll notice that I should have died by now. I'm at -4 health. Handling player death is something that I definitely need to do in the near term. So I've collected the head. I come back to talk to the Mullet Cook, and once again he's going to show me my reward screen. Now in this reward screen, he's going to show me a spider head, which is actually a weapon type. It's placeholder for now, but it's kind of along the lines of what I'm thinking. So if I take that spider head and put it into my equipment slot, now you can see that my fire tome has been swapped out for that spider head. And you'll notice that it has a different attack pattern than the fire tome. This one is more of a shotgun style weapon where it shoots 5 venom balls out into the world, and it can kill multiple spiders at once, as you can tell. So a couple of things that I just wanted to mention as well that sort of tripped me up and might trip you up as well. So I'm going to share those. So I had a problem where if I got real close to a spider with the spider head weapon, there's one that shoots the shotgun style, it was possible that even though the spider has 3 health and there's 5 shots that each do 1 damage, it was possible for a single spider to absorb all 5 shots, which didn't feel very good. So I had to make the change that the spiders will only absorb as much damage as their health, and any further damage will be ignored, and so the projectile can pass through and deal damage to the other spiders. So that was an interesting thing. And then also as a side note, you'll notice that I've started experimenting with some new environment objects. You'll see that I've got sort of like a red tree there, and the bushes, which you've already seen, trying to add some environment variety. And and so my next focus is for the next devlog is going to be, I need to animate the Spider Queen, so that way she's not just a static thing. The animation will include a sort of looping casting animation, So that way, for an arbitrary length of an attack, I can just play that animation until the attack is finished. That will be used for like the sweeping arc attack. I think the circular burst attack is going to be instantaneous and won't require an animation. I already mentioned that I want to handle player death. This is something that has been needed for a while, and I actually finally came up with a good idea for it. At least I think it's a good idea. So I'm going to briefly explain that right now. So player death, I wanted to mildly inconvenience the player for deaths. I didn't want to make it too punishing because this game is more of like a lighthearted, casual sort of bullet hell game. It's not necessarily a hardcore RPG. So my idea for player death was we're going to borrow the WoW style, World of Warcraft style death, where you die and you resurrect in a graveyard. Now, you won't have to run back to your body because that's kind of annoying. But what you will do is you will talk to a guy in the graveyard named the Taxman. And the Taxman is going to do what he sounds like he's going to do. He's going to explain to you that the government has figured out how to make people immortal and can resurrect basically anything. But in order to pay for that public service, you're going to need to collect taxes. And so every time you die, you are going to owe some amount of rubies to the Taxman. Right now, I'm thinking it'll be about 5 rubies, but the amount doesn't really matter. It's going to be a low amount. So what happens then if you don't have the rubies to pay the Taxman? Well, you'll end up with a tax debt. And what a tax debt is what it sounds like. It's, let's say you have 0 rubies and the Taxman needs 5. Well, you owe 5 rubies, but you don't have that many to pay him yet. So you're going to get a debt of 5 rubies. And so anytime you earn rubies, the rubies are going to immediately go to pay your debt first before going directly into your inventory. So let's say that I have 0 rubies, I have a 5 ruby tax debt, and I kill a spider and it drops 1 ruby. If I pick up that ruby, my tax debt will go down to 4 rubies, and I will still have 0 rubies in my inventory. So that's kind of a nice way of mildly inconveniencing the player by just sort of limiting future earnings from dying. And this tax debt would stack up to a cap. So I'm thinking maybe it stacks up to 15. So if you can only have a maximum of 15 ruby debt that you owe to the Taxman. So that means 3 deaths essentially is as bad as you're going to be punished. And for context, quests and stuff like that are going to reward you with like 5 to 10 rubies usually. So it shouldn't be that hard to get out from under the debt, but it is at least going to be a minor punishment for dying. So that's my plan with that. That's the next feature that I'm really excited to work on. And then of course I have to do some more mundane things, like I have to implement sounds for everything. So far I have some sounds in place. Sound effects are a little bit difficult for me personally. So that's going to take some iterating time rather. And I won't be doing that on stream either because I don't think it's terribly exciting to listen to somebody listen to sound effects. So that's what I have coming up. So hopefully by the next devlog, I'll have at least some of that stuff to show you. I want to thank you all for watching. It's really great seeing all the support for this little project. There are links in the description below to the Discord, also to my Twitch channel. Currently, I am streaming Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I am developing this game exclusively on that stream. There's nothing else going on over there. So if you're interested at all in game development or the Godot Engine, feel free to pop over there. I'm always glad to see people. So thanks again for watching. And if I don't see you on the stream, I hope I'll see you in the next devlog.